stuff like no, there's Sabrina, Josie and the Pussycats. There are a lot of calculated. Chuck. I mean, there are characters that are not in the film, and I didn't realize. I started making this. Wherever I go, people ask me about Moose.
Yeah.
Where's Moose? Have you left Moose out? How could you? My mother has sent me a voice message from Kunur after seeing the trailer, and she's like, I mean, you know best, but I just want to know, why have you not shown Moose in the trailer? I was like, Moose is a big deal.
Yeah. But you know, I think Moose and Jughead, these are also sort of, they've become sort of part of the lexicon, right? I mean, like, you call the big, the big Moose is your sort of himbo, and Jughead's the guy. I was always Jughead. Was this also in many ways sort of, living your own childhood and
completely. I mean, it was an opportunity to actually go back to that feeling, to be able to capture that feeling and to share it somehow. But it's dreamy. I mean, it had to be. So even though you've taken it, it's a fictional town, Riverdale. You wanted to have like quasi-reality, quasi-dream quality, because that's what it was.
To all of you, and maybe this question is premature, but are there plans to sort of expand the world? Are there plans to do spin-offs, sequels, turn this into a franchise?
That would be ideal, but it really depends on, I think, how people respond also, To it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, do we want to? Hell yeah, but you're going to tell us if we're going to. So we're excited. Our ambitions are pinned up high. We're sipping our milkshakes at our very own cocktails and hoping.
But I do think what they have created is a world.
Right.
I mean, anyone who sees this wants to see more of this world, wants to be in this world. I wish I could visit this world. So I think that in any successful property that does have that ability, it is about really creating a connection where someone goes beyond a story and want to enter a world. And I think that's so beautifully done, and you've seen it, so I think you know what we're talking about.
What I also think is interesting is that on Netflix, on the same platform, if you like, and in a similar timeline, you can have the Riverdales and the Sabrinas, which are a hyper-real sort of take on those stories or similar characters, and you have the hark back to what the Archies authentically were. Was that important for you, John? That there can be various iterations, there can be various sort of ways to tell these stories and to bring these characters to the screen?
It's so important. It just shows, one thing about these characters, because they're so well known, everyone has their own take on, their own feeling for these characters, right? Whether you relate to Betty, Veronica, Jughead, whomever, you feel who they are. And one of the things that for us was so important is, I always felt as long as you maintained the integrity, the DNA, so to speak, of who these characters were, you could put them in many different settings. But as long as Archie still was Archie, right? And Jughead was still Jughead, he might be modern and he might, look like, a very handsome young man, who's our lead in the Riverdale show. But he's still Jughead, right? And that's what it's all about. And that's what the Archies movie is. These characters, when I saw the movie, I was blown away. I don't want to say stunned, in the greatest way, of how the DNA was so intact of who these characters were, and that carries through from the Archies to Riverdale to Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It's all the same, as long as you keep the authenticity and the DNA of the characters. And Sonia and Rima did that so beautifully, and it is really important. And now, we're also all our stuff's going to be on Netflix, which is pretty cool. So very happy about that.
Yeah, I'm so glad we'd have it normally. But also I think that just kind of talks to the diversity and variety that actually rests on Netflix. No two titles, even though the Archies live in a fictional town called Riverdale, Archies doesn't look anything like Riverdale. And that's the beauty really of Netflix. We're all for diversity, we're all for variety. There's something for everyone, there's something for everyone. So,
the other thing, and I think some of you who are maybe of a similar age will sort of maybe relate to.